Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's ETAPRIME back here again. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RG477M from ANBERNIC. This is one that kind of popped up out of the blue, but I'm glad it did. Needless to say, in the past few years, we've seen this company release a ton of different handhelds, and most of the time, they're recycling the screen, maybe even the CPU. With this, we've got some new stuff here, but we also have a really powerful CPU. We've only seen this one other time from the company. Plus, we've got an all-metal design. It's CNC aluminum or aluminium, and it does look really good. They're calling this color Silver Blade, but they also offer another color variant. It's more of a bronze, and they're calling it Chocolate Bronze. So you've got a couple choices right now. I'm not sure if they're going to release other color variants in the future or not. But getting right down to it, I think ANBERNIC did a great job with this handheld. We've got a 4.7-inch 120Hz display. It's a 4:3 aspect ratio. It's got Hall-based analog sticks, a little bit of RGB around them. You can adjust the brightness and colors through software. Around back, there's not a lot going on. It's more of a flat device, as you can see. They did add some rubber grips, and this helps you hold on to it, and it's not going to slide around on the table. Plus, we've got that intake for the built-in active cooling system we have here. Up top, we've got our stacked shoulders and triggers. There's a power button, volume rocker, LED indicator, and the exhaust vent for that cooling system. Keep in mind, when it comes to the triggers here, they're not linear. They're either on or off. They're using micro switches, but they do work out really well, especially for a lot of emulators and Android games out there. At the bottom, downward firing dual stereo speakers, micro SD card slot, a 3.5mm audio jack, and our USB Type-C port. This does support video over USB Type-C, so you can use it on a larger monitor. First and foremost, this is an Android-powered handheld gaming console. We do have access to Google Play right out of the box, so you can download your favorite Android games. And even though we've got a 4:3 aspect ratio display, Android does a really great job of scaling games properly. It also has their retro game launcher built in with a dedicated button. This just makes it really easy to have kind of a emulator front end setup. Now, I've just been using standalone emulators on this. I've been perfectly content with it, but you could always install a third-party launcher if you wanted to. After all, it's running Android. When it comes to ergonomics, I know there's some people out there that don't like flat handheld designs because, you want a little bit of a palm rest, and I understand that. This is a smaller handheld coming in with a 4.7-inch display, so if you're one of those people who need some kind of substance on the rear, this might not work out for you, but it's light enough to hold at the tip of your fingertips. And if you're going to be playing with the analog sticks, that's probably how you need to have this thing held. And we've got those symmetrical analog sticks. They are Hall-based. They're smaller sticks given the size of the unit, but they feel good. And I gotta say, the D-pad here is phenomenal. Feels good. You can play from the middle, you can play from the edges, and ANBERNIC has always done a really good job, I'd say on 96% of their devices with their D-pads. Buttons feel good. Now, personally, I would like to have a little bit of a bigger button. They're not super tiny like I've seen on some handhelds, but if they were spaced out and just a bit bigger, I'd be more happy with it. But I've been able to play it just like it is. And when it comes to the overall specs, this is powered by the Dimensity 8300. It's an 8-core ARM SoC, and it's not the first time that we've seen this chip in a handheld. We've got one A715 core up to 3.35 gigahertz, three A715 cores up to 3.2, and four A510 cores up to 2.2. Graphics are handled by the Mali G615 MC6 GPU. You can pick this up with either 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, or 12 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. But both of them do support a micro SD card. We've got a 120Hz 4.7-inch IPS display with a resolution of 1280 by 960. It's a 4:3 aspect ratio, and from the settings we can go to 60, 90, or 120 with it. Wi-Fi 6E, Bluetooth 5.3, full aluminum body, and it's running Android 14. As for dedicated software, like we saw, we've got the retro launcher, really easy to get to, but if we drag down from the top, we can get to our quick settings. And from here, we've got a built-in key mapper. We've also got our performance mode. So in high mode, obviously, we're going to get the best performance out of it. When we're in kind of auto mode, we do have some fan adjustment that can go on, and we can totally customize how fast it's going from here. And I'll tell you, with the fan set in strong mode, it can get a bit annoying. Now, there's one other thing here. When we go to high mode, we don't have all of the adjustment for the fan. We've only got We've only got auto or strong, and again, you can hear it, it does make some noise. From the quick settings, we can also swap our button layout, so you can go with the Xbox style or the Switch style. And we've got RGB control from here. So there's a few different presets. Chase, once we move it, you'll see it kind of goes around with it. Rainbow, it'll just kind of cycle through. Personally, I like that marquee. And we've got a full custom. So if you hold on these, if there's any extra settings, it'll bring us right there. And we can change the brightness of that RGB. So to get to this menu, we'll need to go to settings. And if we scroll all the way down, we've got our handheld settings, joystick, we've got calibration, and we can change the dead zones. There's a gamepad tester, and you can always download one from Google Play if you want to. And from the handheld settings, we can adjust the fan and that RGB, but we can also do that from the quick settings up front. When it comes to Android gaming, the Dimensity 8300 is basically going to be able to handle everything that you throw at it. I did test out Genshin Impact, and with that, I went to medium 60 FPS. At high, it was dipping down just a bit, but it still looks good on this display. And like I mentioned, Android does scale pretty well to 4:3. Another one I tested here was Fortnite. So you just download the Epic launcher, get it installed. We're at medium settings, 60 FPS, and I know it's a bit hard to see. I've got the on-screen FPS counter up in the top left-hand corner. It's a really smooth experience. I didn't have to do anything to the controller. It was just set up out of the box, and I'm playing Fortnite natively on this Android handheld. And I am in high mode right now. You can hear that little fan whining. That's really the only issue that I have with this unit. Checking out how well the D-pad works. I can play from the middle, I can play from the edges on it. I'm using Redream with Marvel vs. Capcom 2 right now. We'll just go ahead and pull off some of these special moves. It feels really nice. One thing that I'm noticing here is I do have to play up a little bit because of the symmetrical analog sticks. If I'm just relaxed with it, personally, I do hit that bottom left analog stick every once in a while. But if I'm kind of mindful, it's not a big deal. And of course, emulation. That's going to be one of the big reasons somebody wants to pick this up. And I'll tell you, GameCube and PS2 look great on this 4:3 aspect ratio display. I'm using the official Dolphin emulator. We've got Automodalista, 2x resolution, and since we're using that Dimensity chip with the Mali GPU, Vulkan backend is definitely where it's at. It's been harder and harder to show off a lot of emulation on YouTube. So what I did was run a few games, and at 2x across the board with everything up on screen right now, it ran at 60 FPS just fine. I also tested out some PS2 emulation using Nether SX2, and just like GameCube with the Dolphin emulator, Vulkan backend is kind of what you want with this Mali GPU. Same thing here, went through, tested 4 other games, and at 2x, these perform really well on this chip. I do like the overall design, and I know there's people out there that just don't like these flat handhelds. They need something a little extra to hold on to, but I think this works out really well. Love the fact that we've got that full aluminum shell on this thing. I mean, in this silver blade color, it does look really good. It's got HDMI over USB Type-C, but it only displays at a 4:3 aspect ratio. I have not been able to find a way to kind of change that yet, so it's basically just mirroring the display. D-pad here is great. Every once in a while, I'm hitting that analog stick because, it's an asymmetrical setup. And the only real gripe that I have here is the fan whine. It's not even the noise of the air flowing through it in strong mode. It's just got a little bit of a whine, and it could be this unit. I only have one to test here, but that really does get on my nerves when I'm in high mode and that fan's set to strong. As for pricing, at the time of making this video, there is a coupon code over on ANBERNIC's website. But when you compare this to, let's say, the RG577, this is actually coming in a little cheaper. This is $239. It's $249 over there for that. The RG557 does have a bit of a larger screen, but it's not a 4:3 aspect ratio. So in order to kind of get that GameCube correct, you will need to use bezels or just keep the black bars on the side. In the end, it's really up to you. If I had to choose between the two, I would probably go with the metal version here. I just really do like the look of it. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I'm going to spend a little more time with this. If there's anything else you want to see running on this, just let me know in the comments below. And if you're interested in learning a little more, I'll leave links in the description. Like always, thanks for watching.